Young Sheldon is a popular sitcom, and I'm not reading all that. You know Young Sheldon.
This is the electric company.
Hello.
I'm calling to see if your refrigerator is running.
I'll go check. I'm back. It's running.
Well, then you better go catch it. Bazinga.
And I have a problem with it. In case you're not caught up on the happenings of Young Sheldon, it's the story of Dorcas Sheldon from Big Bang Theory as a kid growing up in Texas. Texas? I think there's some irony hidden somewhere in there.
Stupid!
I completely forgot about the show's existence until one day a clip came up from season 6 and oh my god, that is a grown man.
Did you put extra hot dogs in the spaghetti?
As you may know, when a sitcom rises to popularity, it one day has to fall. And boy are they falling.
They must wanted me on the bottom!
Firstly, I noticed they started doing that typical thing where they try to introduce already well-known celebrities to the cast to boost ratings, and even adding a new baby to the show. And no, don't worry, Sheldon hasn't been stream service viewing and fornicating behind scenes.
Oh, good heavens, I'm about to splurge.
His redneck brother has.
Hello, baby. I'm your Uncle Sheldon.
Part of the novelty of Young Sheldon, admittedly as corny as it is that a young whippersnapper in a bow tie is too smart for his own good, not only outclassing the likes of his fellow students, but even teachers and professors. But when I heard this series was coming back for a 6th season...
Alex, why are you making a new season of Young Sheldon? He's an awful boy. He's a terrible, 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 terrible little boy.
It's just because he's too damn old, okay? He's too old. Like, this man looks like he could drive a car. Okay, maybe not. On second thought, though, I can't really explain why, but he just looks like the type of kid who could fly a plane. No further elaboration.
Hello, baby.
I don't know why they kept this series going after, like, season 4, because after that, it kind of just gets uncanny, almost. Part of the point I was making earlier is that the novelty is, OMG, little boy, so le smart, little boy, so le epic, so le asshole.
I'm wondering if you read the book you assigned to us, because I did.
Like, even though he would harass his family about God's existence and assemble makeshift bombs in his garage out of smoke detectors, it was endearing. He's just a little man. He's just a little man, just a little guy. Shucks, you know Sheldon. But then somewhere along the line, I think late season 4, but honestly season 5 is where it solidified, he just kind of became an asshole.
Am I the only one struck by the incredible hypocrisy of this sermon? Because my brother impregnated a woman 11 years older than him?
Like, obviously that's Sheldon's character, even when he becomes an adult, but the joke just isn't as funny anymore. I'm not laughing as much as I am balling my fists and wishing somebody would shut this kid up. I know they probably just kept the show going as he aged for the money.
Hello, I like money.
Obviously, I feel like that's the answer to almost every problem in the showbiz, is that someone either does not have or doesn't want to give money for a project, or, you know, they'll keep a franchise afloat regardless of quality for more money. Now, granted, Young Sheldon isn't the first series to do this, aging down characters and either showing their life as a child or in AU where they're all just babies. In fact, I think every generation had at least one. Actually, as I'm digging deeper, every generation had like multiple. Let me list a few. The Muppet Babies, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, James Bond Jr., Baby Looney Tunes, Clifford's Puppy Days, Camp and WWE, Total Dramarama, Wee Baby Bears. It's a plague. A slow, everlasting, and terrible plague that stretches out and will not stop till every TV show, every movie, and every podcast is turned into babies.
Isn't that concerning?
Why? I'm not getting into that. Like, I've actually watched the majority of the first 2 seasons and even some of season 3, and although he was annoying, he had some great moments. Like, he was socially aware and respectful when it came down to it. And yeah, I know, Sheldon and socially aware sound strange in the same sentence, but sometimes I just think it was more hubris than actual unawareness. I mean, this guy's a little boy with a massive gift, and he knows that. And on top of the fact he's a sensitive little prepubescent, or was a prepubescent, more on that later, child, of course he would have some overzealous moments.
Go get me a beer, woman.
But you can't tell me he was some heartless, socially unaware monster like they made him out to be later. I mean, he even went to the point of trying to convince his own mother using facts and logic that God was real to restore her faith. And then it kind of just devolved into this.
Sheldon, stop. You can't upset me. Why not? Because there are things in my life that are way worse than anything that you can come up with. You mean your parents splitting up, obviously. I think I know how to irritate you. I bet you think the divorce is all your fault, and now your family is torn apart forever. Did I do it? Did I get under your skin?
I can still hear the sound of her fist hitting your face and your head bouncing off the floor.
Also, the Georgie subplot they've got going on in season 6. It's just weird. Yeah, I know it's Texas, and it fits Georgie's character, but it's just weird.
Hello, baby.
And I'm back on my grind. A psychic read my lifeline, told me in my lifetime my name would help light up the Chicago skyline, and that's why
For this video, I've been doing young Sheldon research. God. And Jesus, dude, this show is dark. Apparently, not only are fans predicting that Sheldon's dad is about to kick the bucket, but it's foreshadowed? What? They foreshadowed George Cooper Sr.'s death? Hello? Anyway, the silver lining to this national tragedy is that I think season 7 is where this will wrap up. Because although drawn out, it seems like it's coming to its natural conclusion. Sheldon's going through his teenage years, everyone's growing up, Georgie's a dad, Mima's got a new boyfriend? What? Wait, what happened to John Sturgis? Breaks from reality? Psychosis?
Go get me a beer, woman.
I mean, I feel like Sheldon's dad dying would be a big turning point for Sheldon's life and would leave some room for interesting character development. And on top of that, I feel like it would be hard to keep the show going. Like, even beyond Sheldon becoming a grown-ass man on screen for us to see. It's not like he's the whole world of the show. I mean, it's a sitcom. Everyone's somewhat of a prominent character. And Mr. Dad's absence over here would definitely be a tank to the ratings if they just plowed onward to season 8 and beyond. I call this theory the ship of Sheldon. How many characters can you poorly develop, over contract, and straight up replace before it becomes an entirely separate show? Or a Fortnite event. Anyway, young Sheldon needs to end. Perhaps because it's gone on for several years and they're running out of ideas. guys, we need a new young Sheldon episode. What do we got? Yeah, let's just throw a fucking tornado at him and see what happens. We'll see how it goes. Or maybe that, I don't know. You shouldn't milk a franchise for money because it ends up feeling hollow and empty. A corporate shill to keep the millennials enthralled for their next bazinga. Maybe because over the years modern media has become reboot after rewrite, sequel after prequel, recast after parody. Maybe because a series that leaves on time, or even a bit early, is solidified with fonder memory and greater impact than one that overstayed its welcome. And maybe, just maybe, it's time for writers, and by extension the higher-ups, to finally get the message, the plea of the non-brain-rotted consumer, that we want ideas. Fresh ideas and stories. Concepts that challenge our worldview and make us struggle or even help resolve our internal conflicts. Plots that keep us thinking, keep us occupied and enthralled well after we power down the TV. Maybe that's why young Sheldon, and this genre of TV as a whole, needs to end. Nah, or maybe because
he's a terrible, 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 terrible little boy.